Ever seen a strange code pop up on your car's diagnostic tool and just felt completely lost? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, you're in the right place, because today we're going to tackle a really common but super misunderstood one: Mitsubishi error code U0155.
So you see that warning light, you plug in your scanner, and it spits out U0155. What on earth is your car actually trying to tell you? Don't worry, by the end of this, you'll know exactly what that message means, and more importantly, what to do about it.
Okay, let's dive right into this mystery. Like any good investigation, we gotta start with the first clue. So what exactly is code U0155? Right off the bat, this isn't a mechanical failure in the way you might think. Nope. Code U0155 is what's called a lost communication error. In plain English, it means your car's air conditioning control unit, that's the AC ECU, isn't getting the signals it needs from the combination meter. And the combination meter? That's just the fancy name for the instrument cluster right behind your steering wheel. You know, with the speedometer and all the warning lights.
Now, to really get what's happening here, we need to understand how these different parts of your car talk to each other. The best way to think about it is like your car's own internal nervous system, with little electronic messages constantly flying back and forth. See, modern cars use something called a CAN bus line. It basically acts like a telephone network for your car. All the different electronic modules are constantly calling each other to share info. So code U0155, it's pretty much just a dropped call. The AC unit is trying to get information from the instrument cluster, but for some reason, the cluster just isn't picking up the phone.
So, if we've got a communication breakdown, our job is to figure out where the line went dead. It's time for us to put on our detective hats and start investigating the main suspects.
Now, according to the pros, the problem almost always boils down to one of these three culprits. And there's a really simple reason why. You've got the sender of the message, that's the combination meter. You've got the receiver, the AC ECU. And then you have the pathway between them, the wires. It just makes sense, right? The breakdown has to be happening in one of those three places.
All right, we have our suspects all lined up. Now it's time to figure out which one is guilty. The good news is, for every suspect, there's a specific fix we can apply.
Let's start with our first suspect, the combination meter itself. You know, the thing that tells you how fast you're going and how much gas you have left. If it malfunctions, it's kind of like a witness who suddenly can't speak. It just can't send out the signals it's supposed to.
So what's the solution here? It's all about the juice, the electricity. The very first step is to check the power supply system that's feeding that combination meter. If you find any faulty parts in that power line, they've got to be replaced. Simple as that.
Okay, on to suspect number 2, the AC ECU. This little box is the brain of your car's entire air conditioning system. If it goes on the fritz, it's like a detective with a faulty radio. It can't properly receive the signals being sent, even if the combination meter is shouting loud and clear. And the fix for this suspect? Well, it means you've got to trace that communication path. You'll need to carefully check all the wiring and all the physical connectors on that specific part of the CAN bus line, the one that runs right between the AC ECU and the combination meter. And that brings us to our final suspect. And honestly, this is often the one people overlook: the physical wiring itself. Over time, wires can get frayed, and connectors can get corroded or just wiggle loose. It's like having a perfectly written letter, but the postal service is broken. The message is totally fine, but the delivery system is shot.
The solution here is pretty straightforward, but I'll be honest, it can require some patience. You need to physically inspect that CAN bus line and replace any harness wires or connectors that are visibly damaged, corroded, or just plain loose.
So this slide basically pulls our entire investigation together in one neat little chart. You can see each potential cause lined right up with its direct solution. It's like a clear diagnostic map. Now, pay close attention to that very last line. If you've gone through all these checks and the problem is still there, the source material suggests the entire ECU might be the root cause and could need replacing.
So you might be thinking, hey, my air conditioning still blows cold. Can't I just clear this code and forget about it? Well, let me tell you why that is a really, really bad idea.
Listen to this. This is a direct warning from the source material. This isn't just about your comfort on a hot day. This code is a symptom of a real, underlying electrical issue. Ignoring it lets the problem get worse, and it could potentially cascade into much more serious and way more expensive damage to your vehicle.
Okay, let's do a final, super quick recap of the crucial points. First, U0155 is a critical communication error, not just some minor glitch. Second, the cause is almost certainly one of our three main suspects: the meter, the AC ECU, or the wiring. Third,
Each one has a specific, actionable solution you can follow. And maybe most importantly, ignoring this code is a gamble you really don't want to take.
And that pretty much brings us to the end. It really leaves us with one final important question. That warning light on your dashboard? It isn't just an annoyance, it's a message. It's your car communicating with you, trying to tell you something's wrong. So what is your car trying to tell you? Thanks for tuning in.